Welcome to this episode of the Catalyst Podcast, Float On, how to navigate affiliate relationships while keeping your integrity afloat. So as we get started, has this ever happened to you? You have lost touch with an old high school friend, and suddenly in your DMs, you get the "Hey girly" text, and you suspect there's some hidden sales pitch. Usually there is. Or maybe you're like me, buying your first used car as a college student. And as you're negotiating the price, you're about to walk away, and suddenly the price drops lower. Everything feels so slimy and salesy. And in healthcare, that just does not jive. So in this episode, I'm going to talk about how you will be able to lean into your affiliates with a feeling of ethical trust and authenticity. And stick around to the end, because I have some tips for you that you can use right away in your business. Hi, I'm Dr. Lara Salyer, a former burned out physician turned mentor and coach for overworked healthcare professionals looking to catalyze their inner spark and spirit. I believe in a world where doctors flourish inside and outside the exam room by redefining their practice of medicine as a self-expression of the healing arts. If you're ready to step into your highest creative power and transform your practice, this channel's for you. So let's paint your work-life masterpiece, subscribe, and together we'll color outside the lines. Okay, as we're about to dive into this topic, I have a story about a time that I waited 5 years for a blissful event. You see, back in 2017, I started coloring my hair teal. It's a self-expressive way that I could feel creative in how I showed up with the world every day. It made sense because I speak about the intersection of creativity, flow neuroscience, and medicine, as well as the impact it can have to alleviate burnout. So I'm kind of like a walking billboard of teal-colored hair. Until a fateful day in 2017 when I emerged from a float tank session and was told I can't return unless I stop dyeing my hair. Now, if you haven't been in a float tank, you're missing out. And let me describe the experience. It is complete deprivation of all senses. You go into this warm cocoon of water, usually in a pod that looks like an egg and opens like a clamshell. And you lock the door behind you. You're in this privacy suite. And yep, you get naked, you get into this pod, and you feel like you're back in the womb. It's almost like an instant highway to meditation, awakening those alpha brainwaves. So you may experience some creative epiphanies and some beautiful meditation, usually for 60 minutes at a time. You have a choice. You can have silence, you can have some ambient music or sounds, but I chose the black inky darkness of that pod rather than having it glow with artificial light. I really wanted to have all of my senses blunted. It gives the most relaxing experience. And when I would emerge from these sessions, I felt so relaxed, better than a massage, better than any meditation I'd ever done. And so I was an avid fan. But then, obviously, I was told at that point, I can't return unless I stop dyeing my hair. And I wasn't ready yet. I absolutely loved my teal hair, as you can see in the last several years of my social media. And I decided I'd rather have the creative expression and I would just double down on my massage therapy and my meditation at home. Until recently, I decided, hey, I'm almost 50. It's time for reinvention. Let's cut my hair short, stop dyeing it, and the first place I went back to was this float tank. I was so excited to re-engage, and it was everything that I had missed. Now, why is this story important? Because back when I first started using this float tank, I could see the medicinal properties. And as I was building my business here in Monroe, Wisconsin, to deliver a functional medicine membership for my patients, I wanted to incorporate affiliates that I could help get business for them, but also help my patients craft an ideal supportive ecosystem of tools and services for their own optimized life. And the float tank business was the very first place that I offered a relationship. And today's episode is about how you can think outside the box or color outside the lines of what you think an affiliate relationship is. Some of us have been burned in the past with either weird high prices of an affiliate relationship or being referred to somebody just because that person gets a kickback. It doesn't feel authentic. And if you're like me in the Midwest, oftentimes we just value transparency. We don't want to know, that there's some hidden agenda with a "hey girly" text. Tell us the truth. Tell us like it is. And so this episode is going to break down some common actionable things you can do immediately to rethink these affiliate relationships as a great way to build this ecosystem of support for your patients. First, let's talk about what it means to have ethical affiliate networking. Ethical, to me, means that it's aligned with values that are important to me. It also means that it's transparent and above board and isn't something that I wouldn't do myself, which is why that float tank was one of the first affiliates that I had in my practice. So think about your business right now. Write down the top 3 to 5 values that you uphold. Maybe you uphold education in your business, in your healthcare practice. And maybe that means you might have an affiliation with another place that offers instructional videos or a deep library of books or other ways to unlock more education. Maybe one of your values is community. So you work with a local community co-op, some kind of agriculture, kind of farmers market. There's so many ways to express your values, but you need to know your values first. So in ethical affiliate relationships, know your values. Write those down right now. Next, why is affiliate marketing important? Well, it makes sense, right? Your role as a functional medicine health practitioner is to make it easy for your patients to live out this life that they want. There is no perfection in functional medicine. We all are putting our own tools together to live out our goals. Some of us might want to run a marathon. Others are just happy to take a walk around the block and to be able to bend over and play with their grandkids without feeling so sore. Everybody has different goals. So your job is to give that box of Lego blocks and with enthusiasm and pre-vetting these Lego blocks to make sure they work, you're helping your patients assemble that castle of their dreams. Or in this instance, paint that work-life masterpiece that they want. You're giving them the colors, the tool brushes, and the ways that they can tap into these services and pick and choose what supports them the most. So affiliate marketing in an ethical way not only helps patients see things from a different light, it builds relationships in the community that you live in. They might be exposed to businesses they never would have thought to walk in their door. It also helps the businesses in your community by increasing their revenue stream. And depending on how you set it up, it might increase yours as well. But for me, that's not the main goal in marketing or affiliate relationships. It's not for revenue for me. I actually use it more as a relationship building tool and a way to bring value to my functional medicine membership. So patients know that they're coming into my wonderful ecosystem and they unlock these wonderfully vetted affiliates that can help them move the needle. Okay, so let's get down to how do you start building an affiliate list? Okay, I've got a few tips. A couple things you should do is first just look on Google Maps, literally around the radius of your community or however far you want to travel. I live in a rural Midwest area, so my greatest radius was going to be about an hour's drive away is the maximum. And I identified a few businesses that looked on their website like they would be like-minded. I would then investigate those businesses first. Either I would attend a class or I would book an appointment or a service like a float tank, and I would personally try this out. Or I'd meet with the business partner, making sure that my values aligned with theirs and that the business felt like it reflected something that integrally feels right within me, that I would use it personally or I already had. And this list was initially massive. I had a list of a lot of addresses, and then after I started using some of the services or I visited with the partners, sometimes I would scratch off that list. But really it came down to about 10 to 15 places that I really felt were delivering exceptional care and could be very beneficial for my patients. Now, I would approach these affiliates Oftentimes, I'd already been there because I had been using their services. I had already taken a bunch of classes or received some kind of service, and it was easy for me to approach them and show my appreciation and gratitude, hoping to bring them more attention. And so that was win-win. Very easy to have that conversation. But if I hadn't used them yet, I would go ahead and take off an afternoon. I created a bunch of flyers about my business, what I bring, why my membership is so helpful for patients, and the philosophy that I bring into a rural functional medicine practice. And this flyer was intended to be left with them so they could learn. It had a QR code to my website so they could learn more. And it opened that conversation. It made it really easy for them to understand where I was. And I would pledge that I would circle back in a week or two just to ask if they had any questions and if they'd like to be an affiliate partner. I also sweetened the deal by creating these cool signs that said, "We like to help you thrive." And it had my branding on it. So they could sort of be proud to promote functional medicine, and they could showcase that they have this relationship with me. It would allow patients to also be exposed to me if they had never even heard of functional medicine. So it was win-win both ways. And crafting that win-win solution is the important thing. As I approached them, I explained that this affiliate relationship isn't for monetary gains for me. It's more for inviting this relationship so patients could be exposed to new services that they may not have learned about, like a float tank. And it helped them craft their own support toolkit of services and items that could help them reach those goals that we're setting in our exams in our functional medicine practice. And finally, I left this part open for the affiliates to decide, but I encourage them to consider a discounted version of their services for patient members of my practice so that it didn't make it hard for us, to exchange money or to keep track. Again, I was a one-woman show in the beginning. I didn't want to have these extensive Google spreadsheets or invoices where I had to really figure out how much money should be exchanged. And I simply left it up to them. I said, could I have your pledge that you would either give them a small discount if they showed their membership card or offer some free perk when they come in the door, a little welcome kit, maybe a free bottle of lotion or whatever they have on their shelves. And it was easy. The affiliates also appreciated that they didn't have to do a lot of work for this. It was more just advertising my services in their spot and then giving my patients that little extra VIP feeling when they walked in the door. Another alternative solution is to explore small amounts of donations. I do this all the time with my discovery calls. It's a $5 cost to talk to me, but I donate that to charity. And you can also create this type of affiliate networking where if you feel ethically just uncertain about taking that money, if an affiliate says, I will offer you $15 for every referral, and that just doesn't feel right to you, you can donate that into charities. And that also promotes that community building. Remember, you're always falling back on your values. So think of those values that you wrote at the top of the hour here, the 3 to 5 things that matter most to you. And I believe that affiliate networking in an ethical way can be that community builder, whether you decide to use that monetary influence and revenue in your company to build community, to add to your library of books for your patients to check out, or to filter it back into United Way, or perhaps just give that VIP experience to your patients. There are ways to build this in an ethical way that benefits both you and your affiliate. Okay, so let's talk about what you could do to increase these affiliate opportunities for networking. One way is offering an expo open house where you invite all the like-minded wellness businesses to come into your place. If you don't have a brick and mortar office, easily you can host these at a library, or maybe your chamber of commerce might have a multi-purpose room that you could rent out, or even a local hotel conference room. You can invite these like-minded businesses and offer them a booth at no cost. Have them set up a booth and they could be there in this open expo of wellness. And what I did is I offered like a mini TED Talk opportunity. I invited 5 local businesses to talk at this expo, and they could just talk for 5 to 10 minutes about a topic that they're passionate about, because passion is contagious. This allowed them to get their services amplified and people could meet them in person. It also positioned me as a community leader in holistic solutions for your health. In this networking event, obviously, put your QR codes everywhere for giveaways, for raffles. You can even ask for people in the local community to donate for a raffle basket. This allows engagement of these potential patients as they're walking through the booths, having a lot of handouts and material for them to get excited about, little takeaways, maybe your favorite recipes or your top 5 functional ideas to heal irritable bowel syndrome. Having all of these like-minded businesses sharing their educational material is absolutely guaranteed to spark interest and excitement in new potential patients. And don't forget to highlight these alumni patients that you've had. Have testimonials displayed all around this expo. Have them displayed on your website or even in your flyers, especially as you're looking to build these affiliate relationships. Make sure that you're highlighting your successes through those patient words. It's easier than you think to get these testimonials. In fact, when you're about to graduate a patient from your services, all it takes is asking them, "Would you mind giving me a testimonial?" People like to hear what success feels like in their point of view. And you can give them a choice to be anonymous or in person, and you'd be surprised how many people are excited to pay it forward and invite more people into this feeling of optimistic, healing empowerment. Okay, in closing, I'd like to review a few best practices if you're deciding to expand your definition of affiliate networking and build that ecosystem of support for your patients. First of all, transparency and trust. It's up to you. Some practitioners just don't disclose who their affiliates are or that they get kickbacks from these affiliates. Now, you need to look at your laws in your state, especially if you're a medical licensed practitioner, because there are some anti-kickback laws. So I choose transparency and trust. I like to be very clear and disclose affiliate relationships when they happen. And you'll see this commonly even in social media. You'll see when people are talking about a certain product, it will say, "This creator receives commissions." And I think that's great. I think that shows that you are getting monetary gain from this. But where you need to level up is you need to explain how you use this in your life. And I would encourage you to build trust with your patients by not jumping into an affiliate relationship until you've tried that product and you've used it, until you firsthand have seen the benefit. I even build affiliates with the expertise of the patients in my community. When they come to me with a new product that they've been trying and they see benefit, it gives me that curiosity to explore more. And that's how I build the culture in my clinic that feels aligned with me. So remember, be very clear and transparent about what the patients are benefiting from with this affiliate, and very transparent with that affiliate you're working with on how you want to build this ecosystem. Secondly, make sure it aligns with those core values. Always revisit those core values because they can shift. We do this in our Catalyst Studio mentorship every quarter. We talk about looking at your core values again. It's not a set it and forget it. It is a curious evolution of how you might shift your core values. And that really can help drive every decision in your business in a faster, easier, more lucrative way. So make sure that those affiliate partners continue to align with those values. And you may want to check their website maybe once a year, twice a year, making sure that that is still something you uphold and you encourage your patients to use. You want to avoid partnerships that might compromise your credibility or diminish your trust with patients. Remember, if it starts to go sour and maybe the affiliate has shifted their business model, that's okay. It can shift and you can just offload that affiliate. Oftentimes, there's so much going on in both businesses, it's really a whisper of a change. We make it more dramatic than it needs to be. Remember, this is more of a value stacking inside your membership practice. It's not the only way that patients can see these businesses. So this is like icing on the cake. Don't make it so hard. It can be fun. It can be easy. And again, finally, number 3, continuous evaluation. Look again at their offerings, their website. Has it changed? Think about sending thank you notes once a year, a gratitude, appreciation for their services. inviting them to come back for maybe a special guest lecture in your patient community, maybe during one of your group visits. And if you love open houses, you can do that once a year. Invite them back for a VIP slot on that TED stage that you're doing so that they can get that chance to continue updating your community on all their great services. Thanks for coloring outside the lines with me today. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow my show wherever you are listening so you don't miss an episode. And if you'd like to unpack these conversations more, I would love to hear your 2 cents. Join my public Facebook group, the After Hours Speakeasy. It is for these podcast topics where you can comment and discuss with your colleagues in a safe place. And that way we can continue flourishing inside and outside the exam room. Until next time, keep coloring outside those lines.